When you hear the term offshore banking, what comes to mind? Is it shady deals in tropical islands, suitcases full of cash, and characters from a spy movie trying to hide money from the government? For most people, that's the picture movies have painted. But the reality is completely different, and frankly, a lot more interesting. The truth is, offshore banking is perfectly legal. And some of the world's biggest companies, most successful investors, and wealthiest families use it openly and transparently. So the real question isn't what offshore banking is. The real question is, why do the rich use it? And why do most people completely misunderstand it? Let's break it down, nice and slow. At its core, offshore banking simply means opening a bank account in a country where you don't live. That's it. If you live in India and you open a bank account in Switzerland, Singapore, or Dubai, that's offshore banking. If you're an American and you open an account in the Cayman Islands, that's also offshore banking. It doesn't automatically mean you're hiding money. It doesn't automatically mean tax evasion. It just means your money is parked in another country. So, why on earth would someone do that? To understand this, you need to grasp one fundamental rule of money. Money follows safety, stability, and advantage. It doesn't follow emotions or loyalty. Rich people don't keep their money where it feels good. They keep it where it works best for them. The first major reason wealthy people use offshore banking is for asset protection. Think about it. Every country has its own unique set of laws and risks. In some countries, governments can freeze bank accounts with little warning. In others, frivolous lawsuits can easily lead to your assets being seized. Some governments change financial rules overnight, creating massive uncertainty. Wealthy individuals and families think in terms of decades, even generations, not just months. So, they spread their money across different countries, a practice known as jurisdictional diversification. This way, if one country experiences political turmoil, an economic crisis, or sudden, damaging policy changes, their entire fortune isn't trapped in one place. It's the exact same principle as diversification in investing. You wouldn't put all your money into a single stock, right? So why would you put all your money under the control of a single government? The second big reason is currency protection. Currencies go up and currencies go down. And inflation silently eats away at your money every single day. The wealthy understand this very well. If all your wealth is held in one currency and that currency starts to weaken, your purchasing power plummets. The number in your bank account might look the same, but what it can actually buy in the real world is much less. Offshore accounts allow them to hold money in strong, stable currencies like the US dollar, the Swiss franc, or the Singapore dollar. This acts as a shield, protecting their wealth from local inflation and the risk of a currency collapse back home. The goal here isn't necessarily about earning more money. It's about losing less. It's a defensive strategy. The third reason is access to global investing. Many countries place restrictions on what their citizens can invest in. Local stock markets can be limited. Investing in foreign opportunities can be difficult and bureaucratic. And certain asset classes might be completely inaccessible from your home country. Offshore banking blows these doors wide open. Through an offshore account, an individual can invest in almost anything, anywhere in the world. We're talking about global stocks from any major exchange, international bonds, foreign real estate, exclusive private equity funds, and even startups on different continents. This effectively turns their money into a global citizen. Instead of being trapped within the confines of one national economy, their capital can flow freely to wherever opportunity is greatest. The fourth reason, which is crucial for businesses, is operational efficiency. Think about a large multinational corporation. They operate in dozens of countries. They earn revenue in multiple currencies. They have to pay suppliers and employees all over the globe. Offshore banking streamlines this entire process. Instead of constantly converting money from one currency to another, which racks up fees and creates risks, companies can hold funds in the currencies and locations where they are needed. This drastically reduces transaction costs, minimizes delays, and hedges against currency fluctuations. This is standard practice for industries like international shipping, global tech firms, commodity traders, and large investment funds. It's not about secrecy, it's about efficiency on a global scale. Now, let's tackle the elephant in the room: taxes. This is the most misunderstood part of the entire topic. Many people believe that offshore banking is a synonym for tax evasion. That's not the whole story. In most developed countries, like the United States, citizens are legally required to declare their worldwide income and their foreign bank accounts to the tax authorities. Offshore banking itself is legal. Tax evasion is illegal. Here's the key difference. The wealthy use offshore structures to legally optimize their taxes, not to illegally evade them. They work with experts who understand international tax treaties, They use legal exemptions and complex corporate structures. They engage in long-term strategic planning to minimize their tax burden. Within the letter of the law, this is very similar to how a large company uses deductions, credits, and incentives to lower its tax bill. The financial system is incredibly complex, and that complexity always favors those who can afford the best lawyers and accountants to navigate it. That's the uncomfortable but honest truth. Another key reason for offshore banking is privacy. And let me be clear, privacy is not the same as secrecy. Secrecy is about hiding things, often illegal things. Privacy is about protecting yourself. Some countries, like Switzerland, have historically had very strict banking confidentiality laws. This doesn't mean they protect criminals. It means they protect their clients from unnecessary exposure. High net worth individuals are often targets. They face a higher risk of frivolous lawsuits, sophisticated scams, extortion attempts, and even political pressure. A greater degree of financial privacy helps reduce these risks. Again, when done correctly and in compliance with reporting requirements in their home country, this is a perfectly legal way to manage personal risk. So, if it's so useful, why don't normal people use offshore banking? The simple answer is that the system isn't designed for small balances. Most reputable offshore banks have high barriers to entry. They often require very high minimum deposits, sometimes hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. They have extremely strict compliance and due diligence processes to prevent money laundering. You need to provide detailed documentation about the source of your wealth, and you almost always need professional advisors to help you set it up and manage it, which costs money. For the average person, the complexity and costs just don't outweigh the benefits. An offshore account is not convenient for paying your daily bills or getting your salary. It's a specialized tool for wealth management, not a replacement for your local checking account. And this brings us to the most important point of all. Offshore banking does not make you rich. You need to be rich first for offshore banking to become a useful tool. So many people chase the idea of an offshore account thinking it has some kind of secret hack to wealth. It is not. The rich don't become rich because they opened an account in the Cayman Islands. They use tools like offshore banking because they are already rich and need sophisticated systems to manage, protect, and grow that wealth on a global stage. So the real lesson here is that you should rush out and try to open an offshore account. The real lesson is to start thinking like the wealthy. Think globally. Understand and manage risk. Focus on protecting what you build, and always play the long-term game. Offshore banking is just one piece of a much larger financial puzzle. And once you see it that way, as a logical tool for a specific purpose, it stops looking so mysterious and starts making a lot more sense. If you enjoyed this breakdown of how money really moves behind the scenes, you're in the right place. This channel is all about exploring global economics, uncovering hidden financial systems, and learning real wealth strategies. Because remember, money isn't just about how much you earn. It's about how you manage it, how you protect it, and how you position it for growth. And that is where the real game begins. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more.